Well, hello and welcome. My name's Mandy and my channel is Mandy Sorts It Out, and today I'm doing a spending review of the period from the 22nd to the 30th of June. During that period, on the 22nd, I spent £13.22 at Lidl for a food shop. I have a video of that food shop. The 23rd was a no-spend day. The 24th, I spent £1.80 from the family budget. 25th, I spent £2 at the library getting some Booker Prize winners that I have already started reading. I also spent £1.03 at the Co-op on food and £11.42 at Aldi on food. I have a video of my shop at Aldi. 26th was a no-spend day. 27th, I spent £10.70 on a donation and £5 went out my account for my monthly phone. It's not a contract, it's pay as you go. On the 28th was a no spend day. 29th was a no spend day, and on the 30th I spent £30.86 at Tesco on food. So let's bring up what this looks like. I spent in that week £1.80 off my family budget, £2 from incidentals, £56.53 on food, which is a hell of a lot of money. But I was with family quite a lot of this week, and so the things I was buying were being shared out amongst 4 people. So that covers some of it, but not all of it. But I have kind of restocked a bit in my last shop, my Tesco shop. £5 on my phone, £10.70 on donations. That's £76.03 in total. Now, I did spend some more money off the family budget, but I did have a reimbursement. So I've finagled that so that it doesn't show and so that the money's all come out. And I've taken that money off previous week's spending where that makes sense. So let's look at my budget for June. Now, I have fiddled with the budget a bit because I had the whole of the money for the graduation in there, including money for the graduation gift that I have not yet bought. So I've moved that out. So the budget I've got for the month was £1,636, and I spent £1,481.29. And that's left £154.71. Now remember that in June I was travelling a lot. I had my son's graduation in London, and then I was helping out with family. It turned out to be twice. I thought it was going to be 3 times, but the second time got extended, so it was just twice. So that was some extra costs that came out of my family budget. I'm quite happy with that, and I've adjusted the budgets for other months. Let's look at the budget for June for my monthly expenses. I have 5 monthly expenses, and I put aside £221 for food, petrol, incidentals, non-food, supermarket and phone. And at the end of the month, I clear that budget, whether or not I've used it all, whether I've used more than that, whatever. So this month, out of the £221, I've spent £164.74, leaving £56.26. And I just want to remind you that in May, I've put some petrol in the car. I spent, I think, around £39, and that still has not come through on my credit card. I had a bit of a look into this because I was wondering, is there a limit these days? I know back in my 20s there was no limit on when credit card transactions could come through, and I wondered if there'd been a limit put on this since. And yes, there is a limit now, at least for my card provider. 120 days is the limit. So if this transaction comes in for the first week of September, I'll be paying it. But if they try and put it through after that, apparently I won't have to pay it. So we'll see what happens. And let's look at my budget from the 1st of May this year to the 31st December this year. My budget as a whole is £13,063. I haven't had to add anything, which is great. I've spent £2,774.31 so far in the 2 months that I've done this budget. And I've got remaining £10,288.69. I have £1,877 in my sinking fund. So yeah, I'm quite happy with all that and how that's looking. As you can see, my family budget, well, I've nearly spent half of it, and I'm 2 months in of 8 months. So that's a little concerning, but I've fiddled with the budget, and hopefully, if I keep to a very tight budget every other time I go down to family, I should make it. That may not happen, but it's too soon to tell, really.
Here are the shopping videos now.
Had a bit of a splurge today, I'm not going to lie. So let's go through it. I spent £13.22. I bought aloe vera to have in case of any burns during this really hot weather. I bought a tiny thing of sun protection milk. And the reason I bought that is because every year I buy sun cream and then every year I throw it away, and I've hardly used any of it because I try and keep out the sun. So I thought this little size was really, really good. The aloe vera was £1.96. I have to add that up. And the sun lotion was £1.32. So those are really good. I bought some brie. I've already had some for my lunch with some of the wholemeal rolls, which I also bought. The brie was £1.65. The wholemeal rolls were 45p. I bought 6 creme caramel. I bought some mackerel fillets in spicy tomato sauce for 99p. I decided salad's a good meal in this weather, so I bought mixed peppers for £1.49. They're on the special 6. I bought white grapes for £1.89 because again they're cool. Plain bagels because I'm travelling and I always like to have something I can eat when I'm travelling, 99p. And the cucumber, again, it was in the special 6 and that was 79p. I did a quick dash to Aldi about 15 minutes before it closed. I was leaving it as long as possible so that it was cool as possible. So I got some breaded fish fillets for £2.99. There's 4 in there. Don't know what fish it is. Don't really care. I got 500 grams of blueberries for £3.99. I'm going to freeze all of them. I got a white cabbage for 89p. I got a kilogram of carrots for 69p. A loose red pepper for 70p. A 5-pack of bananas for 78p, and 2 cucumbers, which were 69p each, so £1.38 in total. Well, for the cucumbers, the whole total was £11.42. I've been to Tesco and I spent £30.86, and I'm going to go through the frozen stuff because I want that in the freezer. I bought some Growers Harvest sweet corn. That was £1.35. I bought some Growers Harvest peas, and they were £1.15. I bought 6 Cherryade lollies. They were £1.65, reduced by 40p on Club Card, so £1.25. And I bought some pistachio ice creams, one of which may have already leapt into my mouth, and they were £4.50, reduced by £2 to £2.50. I just wanted to try them, really. Right, I'm going to put that away. And if you're shouting at the screen, what about the no sugar, Mandy? I will go into that, but not at this precise moment. Right, so I bought some Suntrail grapes, £1.37 for 500 grams. balsamic vinegar, and I've just found another bottle I bought, which was so tall I had to put it away in my big cupboard and I forgot about it. So that's annoying, but it was £1.60. Tesco red pesto, 89p. A yellow pepper, 70p. Some spirali pasta, 75p. Tuna chunks in spring water. 4 tins of those are £2.49, and I got 12 tins. I got the biggest sweet potato I've seen in my life. That was £1.27. 12 free-range eggs. Should have been £2.85. 35p off, so £2.50. Some Creamfields natural yogurt, 55p. Some green pesto, 89p. 2-pack of perfectly ripe avocados, £1.50. They just look better than the single avocados, and I thought, sod it, I really like an avocado. Some skyr yogurt, which I'm going to use to make yogurt with, because the instructions said the yogurt you make will imitate whatever yogurt you put in it. So I thought, well, I'm going to put a nice yogurt in it then. A 4-pack of baking potatoes for 79p. A jar of apricot jam, 89p. And a pack of ripened at home kiwis for £1.19. That's my Tesco shop. Two things. One thing I noticed while I was editing the video was that the skyr I bought was 0% fat, which was not the one I went for. There were 2 trays. One said 0% on the label, one said 5%, and I thought that's what I'd picked up. So I'm going to have to go and get another yogurt. The other thing is to talk about the blueberries, because before I went to Aldi, I had a look on Tesco and I was putting things in my shopping basket so that I could refer to it when I went round shopping. Supposedly, if you scan, it'll bring up your shopping list, although they didn't mention that this time, and when I tried it last time, it didn't work for me at all. But anyway, I thought I'll put things in my Tesco shopping list, and then I can look at that as I go around to see what I need, which I didn't do. But one of the things I wanted was blueberries, and I have blueberries and I keep them in my freezer for making porridge with. And usually I buy the frozen blueberries, but because I was on the app looking at all the blueberries, I could see that a packet of frozen blueberries, I'm not going to tell you how much it cost, but I can tell you it was £9.14 a kilogram. Whereas the fresh blueberries, if you bought the 500-gram pack, were £9.10 a kilogram, so 4p less. So I was thinking, oh my goodness, I'll get the fresh ones and freeze them because they're 4p less. And then I went to Aldi and their blueberries were £3.99, which was significantly cheaper. Now, I've bought frozen blueberries from Aldi before, and they're tiny. They're the tiniest little things, so I didn't really want those anyway, no matter if they were a better price or not. But that's something I might look at another day, just to see. But these blueberries were quite chunky, so exactly the kind I like eating. Headed to Mandy again, popping back because I forgot to mention the sugar. I got weighed on the 5th of June, and I got weighed on the 29th of June, and in between those 2 dates I lost £4. So I was really pleased about that, because the reason I was going to get weighed was to kind of see if I'd gained any weight from all the sugar I'd eaten when I was with family. So the fact that I'd lost £4, I was like, okay, maybe I don't need to cut out all the sugar then, because I'm very happy with that weight loss. I do appreciate that there was a heat wave that affected my appetite. Also, when I came back from being with family, there was a couple of days where I just didn't feel very well, so I didn't eat very much those days. But I don't think that would have counted for £4. So I'm really pleased about it, and I thought, well, okay, I can obviously get away with eating a little bit of sugar. So this doesn't mean I intend going mad. I kind of have shelved the no sugar plan for the moment. We'll just see how it goes. Maybe this is because of not having the fish and chip dinners. I wouldn't have thought it would have made such a huge difference, but maybe it does. Maybe it does. We'll see how the next month goes. And if need be, I can cut sugar out then as well. Also, I'm going to get an appointment with a healthcare assistant to help me with weight loss at the doctor's. I saw a doctor this morning who said I could do that. So I'm waiting to get an appointment in, but I know that it won't be till either the end of July, beginning of August. So I've got a month. We'll see how we do in that month. Other things that have happened this month. Well, here's my last sleeve for my son's jumper. As you can see, I'm decreasing for the baglans. So I'm on the end part of that sleeve, and I'm looking forward to doing it because after I've done the sleeve, I have to start sewing the sleeves in. I have to spread everything over the table. The jumper will still be lying flat at this point because the side seams won't be done up. And I join one sleeve to both the front and the back, and I think I join the other one to the front. And then I have to pick up all the stitches that are remaining. Everything's on a stitch holder, and sew the neck. And I have to sew up the neck and then fold it over and stitch it on the inside. So it has like a roll neck. So that's going to be, I think, fairly hot work because I'll be having the front, the back, and the two arms all on my lap while I'm doing that knitting, unless I sit at the table to do that knitting, in which case the table can support the weight and the heat. So I'd quite like to get on because it is getting warmer, and when it's warmer, I can't really do it. I've got a t-shirt belonging to someone in the family that was ripped under the arm that I need to fix. That'll be one of my next jobs. We have heard from HMRC about the inheritance tax forms that were sent in after Mum died, and we have been given a code to start probate. So that's really good. So I started the probate application. It's in 3 parts, and I'm somewhere in part 1. It's not easy to tell how far along you are, but we were asked a question about the original will, which I thought was held by another member of the family. But when they checked into that, it turned out we didn't have it. So we're now trying to obtain the original of the will so that we can send that to the probate team, but also answer this question on it. They want to know if it's got any marks on it, if it's got any signs that pieces of paper have been removed or anything like that. I don't think it does. My mum's will is very simple and it's 1 page. It's all on 1 page, so it's the simplest will going. So anyway, that's moving on, glacially slow, but it is moving on. I don't have much organised in July. I've got a doctor's appointment tomorrow because of my hip, which has been a lot better lately, but I'll still go to the appointment because it's not right still. Yeah, there's nothing I've got organised in July. I will be going down to see the family again in July because I am dog sitting. And other than that, I don't really have anything organised, apart from carrying on with the probate application as soon as I possibly can. Yeah, I'll leave it there, and thank you for watching. Hope you've enjoyed the video, and I look forward to seeing you next time. Bye!